Hello, I'm Bill Isaacson, Chair of the Governing Board of AARP's Legal Counsel for the Elderly. This year, Legal Counsel for the Elderly is celebrating its 35th anniversary. And for those 35 years, LCE has made a difference in the lives of thousands of seniors in the District of Columbia and beyond. Opening its doors in 1975, LCE burst onto the scene with a project to test the use of trained in-house volunteers to help older people with their legal problems under the supervision of a staff attorney. The program was carried out by a cadre of volunteers and a couple of attorneys who assisted clients with public benefits and wills. This work was made possible thanks to a grant from the Federal Administration on Aging to AARP.
In the early days of Legal Counsel for the Elderly, we had our offices apart from the AARP offices. We had a very small office. I was the only staff attorney, and so I relied very heavily on volunteers and law students to help me out.
Back when I first came to LCE back in 1978, we actually had just moved into a new building on 16th and P Streets Northwest. We had about 4 or 5 attorneys for each day of the week because each attorney did intake during the week. And back then we had no computers. We had typewriters. That was pretty much it. The phone system was pretty rudimentary.
In 1976, LCE received its first funding from the DC Office on Aging, the start of a long and productive partnership. And in 1977, the Legal Services Corporation funded LCE to set up an organized pro bono model, which allowed LCE to expand greatly the number of services it offered by providing clients with pro bono attorneys in a wide variety of legal areas.
One of the things that are meaningful to you when you work here is you realize that you're actually able to help people. And as you get older, it's a good feeling to know that you can do some good for some person. And if you believe in karma, I can say that's good karma.
Over the next 30 years, LCE would develop over 25 different programs of legal services delivery to enhance the availability and increase the quality of legal services for seniors. Among the models developed were a pro bono project, a long-term care ombudsman program, legal hotline, legal services network of reduced fee attorneys, real estate tax sale prevention project, senior Medicare patrol project, an eviction prevention project consumer unit, and a homebound elderly project. Many of these programs are still in existence, indeed thriving in LCE, in the AARP Foundation, and elsewhere, as many have grown to be projects national in scope. A hallmark of these programs is that volunteers play a key role in their operation, ensuring that the programs are well leveraged, cost-effective, and provide the sort of high-touch involvement that has characterized LCE's volunteer efforts.
From the very beginning, volunteers at Legal Counsel for the Elderly were integral to what we did.
They were the face of LCE back then. That's who the client dealt with on a regular basis, was a volunteer.
Hey, that's great. That's great. I'm glad you are. It's nothing.
It's been most meaningful to me as a volunteer, actually, mainly because of the clients LCE represents. It's just gratifying to know that there are persons who are in need, and there is something that I can do to satisfy that need.
For 35 years, LCE has been providing basic legal help on a daily basis to seniors who are most in need. Client challenges range from substandard housing, lacking access to quality health care, being ripped off by scam artists, inability to navigate the bureaucracy to obtain a monthly check, or dealing with a long-term care institution unresponsive to their needs for care. Margaret Harper of Washington, D.C. is one of those clients that LCE helped when scammers attempted to steal her home.
I didn't know then what was going on until I started going to mediation, and then a lot of things started coming out, and I found out that the name that's on the paper, that's where it said, "You selling your home?" It looked like my initial, but it's not my signature. I never signed that I was selling a home. And that's when I found out everything was, at that point, that they were scammers. That's when I came in contact with Amy Mix, and she's been my lawyer through the whole process. I got my home back this year in March of 16th of March this year.
The help that LCE provides is guided by the principles of dignity and self-determination. Whether it is deciding the course to take in litigation, ensuring that the power of attorney document reflects the client's wishes, giving the client the information they need at a self-help office, or assisting them with the forms, applications, or appeals, LCE puts the client in the driver's seat, ensuring that the help we provide is both requested and welcome, and that the course of action improves the quality of life of that person in accordance with their wishes.
Given the quality of the organization and the leadership and the staff and the dedication of those people and all the volunteers, that it will continue to be a very effective organization and continue to do wonderful work.
This is the pledge we have maintained and the one we shall keep as we embark on the next 35 years.